It's our first birthday. A year has passed already from the moment we recorded our first episode. So, this is a special edition added in this week because we couldn't let it go unnoticed. We're going to have a recap of the year, talk about our highlights, where it started, what our vision was, and where the future is heading. So, strap in and let's listen. Welcome to our podcast, Fuck the Diet Cycle, with myself, Lauren Knight, and Abby Lodge. This is for you if you want to cut through the diet industry bullshit and finally end that cycle. Grab yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's dive straight in, shall we?
It's been one whole year since Fuck the Diet Cycle was born. Like, we spoke about it, like, this podcast has been kind of an idea for a long time, hasn't it, in the pipeline. And we was like, yeah, you know, we should do a podcast, until one moment we was like, we're doing a podcast, we're committing to a podcast, and we're going for it. And then obviously this was born, and it has lived up to everything that we could have ever imagined and dreamed that this podcast could ever be. Like, we have had some epic highs and we have had some lows. Like, let's not kind of sugarcoat things that, oh yeah, it's been a fantastic year. It hasn't been, you know, the most straightforward year for both of us. Like, when this podcast was born, yes, we had this idea, but we was on very separate paths in terms of business and everything, wasn't we? And the podcast was kind of the one thing that gelled us together to keep us kind of, you know, obviously we are friends as well, but in terms of like a business side of things, it was this podcast that kind of was that string that kept us together. And now look at us, like,
Yeah,
amazing.
I think we've worked so closely together. So when Abby came on board as a team member, as a consultant, we literally got on straight away. We're both very driven, we're very red. We set these ideas, and I've never met my match in business before, where it's kind of like, idea, write it down, let's get it done, and it's done. She keeps me on my toes just as much as I keep her on her toes. And that's how we started our business. And then things happened and visions changed, and you know that happens in business, and that's fine. And I had to let Abby do her thing and take a little step back, give Abby a bit of breathing space, which was fucking hard, by the way. I felt like my right arm had been chopped off. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, she doesn't realize how lost I felt, because she'd always say to me, I'm so grateful for you, but actually vice versa as well. I've always had these amazing big ideas, but sometimes you just need somebody else to do them with. And Abby was my girl. And then all of a sudden she was fucking gone. And then it was like, well, I'm going to hang on to this one thing. Like, you committed to the podcast, Ab, we're doing the podcast. And you did. We did the podcast, and
We did.
We still had the very same message. Like, we are still very much, we changed the mindset and relationships for all of our clients and our slimmers, and we believe in our message and all of that. So we knew that the podcast would still work, even if we're going to explore different ways of doing it. So we went ahead and did it, and we was umming and ahhing about what we was going to name it. And I was like, we swear a lot. We don't want to edit it. Like, nobody's got time to edit this. Everyone wants to listen to the true us. We ain't going to have fancy dancing machinery. Come on, this is me and you. Like, what's our best swear word? And I believe, Abby, you went through the chat, like our WhatsApp chat, and you found that we said fuck like something like 300 and something times in a month.
It's like the most common word that we ever used. And it was like, well, we want to end the diet cycle for people. We say fuck a lot, like, fuck the diet cycle. And then it's like, oh my God, that is such a good name because it suits us. Like, our clients will know, like, when they come to us, there's no kind of like airs or graces. Like, what you see is what you get. And that's what we wanted to come across on this podcast is, we're not two different people that you see like here on a podcast or in real life. No, this is us, and this is what we say in real life, and you know, all these types of things. And I think that's why we have built such a solid community around this podcast now, because people know, oh my God, I can listen to them on the podcast and I can speak to them in real life. And it's the same people. It's the exact same people. There's no, there's no beating around the bush, basically.
We're not fake, is what you're trying to say.
No.
We're our true,
Yes.
authentic self. We're not fake. What you see is what you get. We wanted this podcast. Our vision for this podcast was we don't want it to be perfected. We don't want it to look fluffy and sugar-coated. We want it to be raw. We want it to be real, relatable. We want it to feel like we're talking directly to each and every single one of you, whilst still making it light-hearted sometimes, funny. There's sad moments. There's bits where we've made our listeners cry because it's made them think real deep. But actually, that's what we wanted. We wanted to unlock those thought processes so that you can turn around and say to us, do you know what, that episode, or when you said this, Ab, or when you said this, Lauren, it unlocked this for me. And we are getting to hear that so much. And all of a sudden, in the last, 4 to 6 months, all of this hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and swearing that's gone into this podcast has just exploded. Now, we set ourselves some targets for the year, and I feel like we just smashed straight through them. Like, every time we set a target, we're like, oh, that's pushing it a bit. I don't know about that. And it's like, oh, by the way, we've done that. We need to reset a new one. So we want to say thank you to you guys, to our listeners, because obviously without you, Fuck the Diet Cycle doesn't exist.
We would just be talking to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are so honoured that you listen to us and you put us in your ears, you laugh along with us, you swear along with us, you message us, you comment on our podcast, you're following us. Like, our brains are blown about how many of you are actually tuning in and listening. Like, does that make us influencers, Ab? I'm excited. Can we go that far?
Before we started recording this podcast, I said to James, James, if you put Fuck the Diet Cycle in Google, guess what comes up? He's like, I don't know. I was like, me and Lauren. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, look. And he did it. And he was like, that's a really good write-up. And I was like, I know, we're basically famous, James.
Exactly. But it's not been easy, right? We've had to work at this. We've had to commit. We've had to show up. We were worried that we weren't going to show up, but I think what makes us show up now, like, I love recording our podcasts because I know that it's actually being listened to and we're making a difference. Our insights are showing that. The conversations we're having are showing that. The results that we're getting from people saying, I did this last week because of what I listened to.
Yeah.
We're 1. We are 1 years old. Like, what the hell?
And the thing is, with for those that don't know myself and Lauren, yes, we will have all these ideas and be like, yeah, we're doing this, whatever. But sometimes we'll kind of get a bit waylaid. And if we're not seeing results instantly, it's like, oh, fuck that, we'll do something else. Or, kind of. But it was like, we knew from the beginning we was going to commit to this. It was going to be a bit of a slow burn up, but it was going to be worth it. And now here we are 1 year down the line, just like blown away. Every time we kind of look at our insights or get a random message on the phone, like even from like not clients, like other people in the community, like, oh my God, that podcast episode you did. And then I think, that's me and Lauren. That's like little old me and Lauren just chatting away about everything that we are so passionate about, but it's helping change so many people's lives and, banish this diet mentality bullshit that is so ingrained in people. And it is actually a bit emotional. And I know you said, oh, I might cry, and I kind of laughed at it, but actually it really is actually emotional to think,
oh, the Tin Man has actually got a heart. What the hell?
Just to think, like, this is us, this is our life, and this is our baby. This is the foundation, the kind of the rock of everything that we do. We center around this podcast, and it's it's the one thing that has been that constant throughout the whole year for both of us. And it has saved, I know it's saved me. I don't know if it's saved you, but it has been that one thing that you just think, we made that, this is our baby. And just to thank everybody for continuing their support. And where are we going to be next year? Like, what are we going to be doing next year? Like, incredible.
Wow. I just want to clarify as well that Abby's come back to the land of living. Like, this did save us. And if I think the tiny thin bit of string that this podcast gave us, I was able to put a carrot on the end of it and just keep on dangling it and saying, come on, darling, come back to mama. So we are getting stronger. We are building that community, and that's the heart of us, our community, you guys, ending the diet cycle. Abby's hiding away from the camera. I don't know if she's actually crying right now.
I'm putting my laptop on charge, thanks.
Oh, damn it. I thought I made it. Yeah, it's that heart. This podcast is the heart of our community. It's the thing that's building up, and people are getting, it's just that ripple effect. And whilst we knew what we had to say was good, like, I know that sounds really big-headed, but we believe in what we're saying and we know it works. I don't think we could have dreamt at how big this podcast has got in a year.
No, absolutely not. I certainly couldn't. I just thought, yeah, okay, whatever. And like you say, yeah, we believe absolutely 100%. Everything that we say is real, it's raw, it's our knowledge, it's our beliefs. And then to have all these people like, oh my God, that's just flicked in my brain. Thank you. And it's like, wow, we have that impact on people's lives. It just makes you go, yeah, we are good. We are fucking good at what we do.
And we are, and you know, there's no denying that. I'm going to own it for both of us. We are good at what we do. We end the diet cycle. We allow people to live in a food freedom world, and this podcast helps that. So what does the future actually look like? Well, sneak peek alert. Coming up in February, we've got 4 guest speakers, one at a time each week. So you've got that, but I'm not giving you much more than that. We are going to get bigger and better and bolder. Not that I'm sure we can take it to the next level. I personally, guys, I need your help on this. I need you to send in messages. I need you to tag us. But I personally think that we should develop merch. Just saying.
Yes.
I think we need merch. So if you guys want merch, yes. I would tell people to go and grab a cuppa. There you go.
I actually think it should be a water bottle as well, because obviously I like to bang on a lot about water. I am the water police. I would, you know, fuck the diet cycle water. I'd be like, right, where's your water bottle? Get it down here.
I think we should. I think that's our next stage. Fuck the diet cycle merch. So if you create merch, or if you want to see the merch, we want to hear from you. Don't sit in the sidelines. Get in touch with us. Like, whilst the iron is hot and all of that, I want to get Abby on board with merch before she can run away and say, Lauren, what are you doing now? We need merch.
I am all for it, because this community that we are building, we need something. We need our listeners to have something to show as well. Like, yeah.
Do you remember what was Suits? Meghan Markle was in Suits. Did you ever watch it?
No.
There was a character in there, and basically his strapline was, it's about to get lit up. James got me a mug that said, it was the best mug ever. It was just his strapline, but I was so proud of it. And that's what I want from our merch. I want people to be proud of it, to go, you need to listen to this.
Yes. Go into the office. What's that? Oh, it's just this amazing podcast where, you know, 2 normal people just help me.
Change my life.
Change my life. Like,
hairdressers, stick on this podcast. Let everyone hear it whilst we're here.
Yes.
Rox, if you're listening, is coming to the hair gallery. But seriously, like, I know we're being a bit silly, but this year has been incredible, and we do genuinely thank you for listening. And it is our birthday, and yes, we celebrated with a balloon and we took photos. So go and check out our new images, listen to our new jingles. Did you hear anything new, guys? We want you to get more involved this year. We want you to be looking at the polls. We want you to be putting in the comments, sharing to your social media. Like, help us like we are helping you, and let's get in front of as many people as we can, like, worldwide. We ain't got to say in the UK. Like, we want to be getting out there to everyone. Like, what countries would you like to see the podcast hitting this year? Where do you want to get in? Bali. Wow. You know how I say about setting targets high? Right. Okay. How are we going to get to Bali? That's the next process that we need to work out. Bali. Brilliant.
I'm not sure. But No, I think like in terms of being serious, like America, like if we're going for domination, America is the way to go. Like, let's think about America. It's very big. You know, there's a lot of this whole supersized food over there.
Yeah.
We could go to town with America and helping them. So yeah, get us in America, guys. USA.
I love it. Can you see where this happens? This is our everyday. This is how we create our business goals. We're like, right, okay, let's go take on the world. We're gonna do it. I'm telling you now, we are gonna take on the world. Everybody is gonna know our name. Everybody is gonna know our name.
Out there, everybody is gonna be like, oh my God, that's their podcast. Yeah, that's them. That's them.
We're gonna have to put on a hood. We're gonna have to wear disguises, you know, like a fake nose and all of that.
Oh,
We're not gonna be able to get out of the car without people going, can I have your picture?
an umbrella. Cover me. Don't let me be seen.
Both of our Jameses. We can't go food shopping anymore. We get paparazzi'd every time we step out the car.
We wouldn't be able to go and do our filming in Asda where we load up the trolley.
I know, that's bad enough as it is. They already recognise that. So, it's you again. Yeah, all right, just put the food back once you're finished. Oh, I love it. But no, seriously, right, let's end this before people start thinking that we've gone cuckoo bananas. Thank you very much. This is our 1 year celebration. We do genuinely love you all. Keep on sharing, keep on listening. If there's particular topics that we haven't covered that you want covering, let us know. We are down for it. But yeah, happy birthday to Fuck the Diet Cycle.
And let's fuck the diet cycle together.
Thank you for listening. If you loved it, don't forget to press that subscribe button and the little bell so that you never miss a future episode. We will be back here with a new one on Sunday at 7 a.m. We'll see you there.